Drew. So it's Tuesday, May 31st, and I ordered a bunch of stuff that I got in the mail today. One of them is a camera stand for my cell phone, which I'm filming on right now. So that's I'm kind of happy about that. The other thing that I did was actually I got some new glasses. So I went to the eye doctor a few weeks ago, and she updated my prescription a little bit, and so I ordered this pair of glasses here, and I ordered these online, and this pair of glasses actually ended up costing me $8, but it was because I had a credit from something Sarah had returned previously. But if you get the progressives, they're more expensive. So I needed a pair of sunglasses, but I also decided I'd be vain and get some other pairs of glasses as well, just for fun. So I decided to get the other pairs of glasses without the progressive, because then you can get it for basically just the cost of the frame. So like one pair was $6, one pair was $9, and then I got a pair of sunglasses, which was a little more expensive, like $30. So altogether, it was like $50 for 3 other pairs of glasses. So here they are. I got these ones, which I thought were kind of funky. And so, yeah, these are, they're translucent frames, which I thought was kind of cool. And the reason I didn't get the progressives was actually I can read, like, the progressives make it a little better for my reading, but I realized that they're not like significantly better. So I just went ahead and I just didn't want to spend the money for the progressives. So that's one pair. Then I've got this pair right here, which actually I really like. They're super lightweight, and going back to the wireframe style round glasses. So kind of like these, and these were $6, so I figured I'd get them. And this way I can have a pair of glasses in every car as well, which is nice. And these are the sunglasses, and actually, so these are also actually really lightweight, and they come with these magnetic clip-on sunglasses, which are polarized. Here they are. And it's funny, I put these on and I can't see the camera display because it's polarized as well. If I turn my head this way, I can see it. Or this way I can see it, but this way I can kind of barely see it, but not much. Yeah, so those are my new sunglasses, or new glasses. So I'm actually took some footage. Yesterday, Scott Fairley and I went for a walk, and we ended up going about 8 miles, and we went up east of town and walked along the freeway, and I took a little footage up there in a field where we had his dogs. And actually there was this really cool thing, I can't remember what he called it, maybe it says in the clip that I'm going to put in here, but basically it's a little protected area with a fiberglass tub underneath it that collects drinking water for animals. And so there's one of those up there in the middle of this field, and he looked at it and he said it was full of water, which is kind of cool. And then we actually crossed the freeway and walked around through fields on the other side, and then down around Tudewilla Road. You're not going to know where that is, but basically not all the way out to the middle school, but down by there and then back into town. So that was a nice walk. I had a good time, good talk with Scott. Scott has been elected to the city council, which is kind of cool. So we talked a little bit about that, and he's got all kinds of cool plans. He's such a good guy, he's got a lot of good ideas. So did that. Then also I did a couple projects on the van to fix it up. I added a shelf to store the jack and the tire repair kit and a couple other things inside the dinette itself, which was kind of a simple little project. I basically there's a cross piece holding the paneling on to the front of the dinette, and I rested the shelf on that, but I was worried it was going to break it because it's just stapled on both sides, so I put a couple supports vertically underneath it, and then I took a piece of wood and I actually zip tied it to the metal support in the back that actually you're supposed to clip. If you want to put a car seat in there, you can clip it to it. And so that piece of wood, the shelf sits on in the back. And then I put a couple little barriers on the side so they wouldn't slide off and fall into the stuff. There's a lot of space in there, and I'm actually really pleased with that because it gets kind of bulky, heavy stuff out of the way. The other thing I did was I put this wire shelf over the door. And the wire shelf that goes over the door, basically it's attached to a couple command hooks on one side, which are those hooks that you have a pull sticky that you can take it off if you want to later, supposedly without damaging the surface. And on the other side, actually, I put a couple D-rings on some screws that already existed in the van, and then put picture frame wire down, wired it up. And so the shelf is, it sits right above it's tilted, and so all the cloth things that are used to go over the windows to dim or black out the windows when you're camping go up there. And those were also bulky things that kind of got in the way that I was annoyed with having to not have a place for. Or I felt like it took up spaces that I was using for other things. So fix that. So yeah, that was good. I watched your video about Sarah's feet, and I'm sorry you couldn't hear what I was talking about in my previous video, but yeah, we're still waiting to get a second opinion. It is congenital, so it has nothing to do with the shoes she's worn or anything. It's, the problem. So the thing is that the surgery that they did earlier, and I know you're right that you can always look back and say 20 years ago, or in this case, 29 years ago, the surgery that was done, maybe the technology wasn't there, the knowledge base wasn't there, but basically she didn't go to a specialist. She just went to a local foot doctor who didn't, who knew something about bunions, but didn't obviously know that the type of surgery he gave her wasn't going to solve her problem. The problem that you discussed with your dad sounds like, so what she was told is 75% of all bunions are caused by shoes, the types of shoes you wear and the way that you treat your feet. And then there's this other 25% that's congenital, and it has to do with the way that the bones are structured. So her bones are structured sort of like this, where the toes come together. Whereas if your bones are structured like this and you push out, it creates essentially a growth out there, and you can shave it off, and that solves the problem. But if your bones are actually structured like this, if you shave it off, the bones still push out that way because the connection between them is beveled. And so what they need to go in is cut the bevel out to straighten out the bones connection. And in addition, she has this arthritis in her middle two toes, and they need to clean all that up. And actually, she's got some problems with tendons in there that they're going to have to clean up as well. It's a lot of stuff. And so that's one of the reasons we're going to get a second opinion, is we want to make sure that that the extensiveness of this is really necessary. Yeah, and since you can't put any weight on it for up to 3 months, it really isn't an option to do both feet at once. So yeah, we'll do one. And I think what we're talking about doing is actually putting a bed right down here in the space behind me. And because the bathroom's right there, she can put her desk right over next to it, and she can work, just move in this space initially when she's not capable of moving around too much. I guess that's it. I got to go to men's chorus rehearsal, so I will talk to you later. Thanks for putting up a video. I'm glad you had a good time golfing, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.